I feel like there's a lot of places we can go. Apparently, Carson Wentz has solidified himself as the best quarterback, not just in the NFC East, but apparently of all time, surpassing Trevor Siemian.
Again.
Did you just see that?
I won't take you guys back down that road. No, I didn't see what happened.
Oh, I shared the fucking tweet and I had the stupid eye thing happen to me.
Oh.
God damn it.
Is that like a known thing? Because that's been happening like crazy. I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah, they
shout
know.
it out. All right, we'll just fire it up.
All right.
Hi. Welcome in. Dynasty Happy Hour, Open Bar. We are here every single week, 9:30 Eastern. Wednesday, 9:38, but who's counting? Not me.
We're 20 minutes ahead of normal, right?
Yeah, exactly. We're ahead of schedule here, okay?
Usually a half hour late. Come on now.
I know. We're doing just fine. So first and foremost, I apologize for the tweet I just put out. We have a serious issue with Apple and these iPhones that I said the word I, that highly used pronoun. And I thought I had fixed it, but no, sure didn't. So, whenever I say question mark, exclamation, I really mean I. But you all know that by now. Apple, get your shit together. J. Mike, quit making me talk about this. What's up, dude? How you doing this week?
Fancy. Feeling great. I just really want to know, more than anything, how Travis Kelce beats Tyreek Hill in a sack race. I don't quite understand that. Player profile suggests Tyreek Hill should win that by a landslide, and it didn't happen. So my mind's kind of blown still.
I'm
Really? You want to
unaware of this. So you're gonna have to fill me in.
Yeah. So last week, as the Chiefs were doing what the Chiefs do, score touchdowns and such, they had when the celebration they did, team celebration, they get together. Alex Smith, Tyreek Hill, and Travis Kelce. They get together in the end zone, and they basically have a impromptu like potato sack race where they act like they're jumping in sacks. Follow me so far, Gabe?
I'm with you.
Okay, great.
Potatoes.
So yes, potato sacks indeed. So they have a potato sack race, and Tyreek Hill falls down, Alex Smith falls down, and Travis Kelce is declared the winner. And I don't understand how he beats Tyreek Hill in the sack race. I'm not okay with that.
He scored the touchdown, bro.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
The touchdown itself is not glory enough. You have to also win the sack race?
Yes.
All right.
It's like a fake 2-point conversion.
He's just incredibly greedy is what that means. Or maybe he just likes to win. I don't know. Maybe he's got Ricky Bobby syndrome.
I love the celebrations are back, man. They're so much fun. The guys are getting really creative with it, and I'm really surprised they're letting them get away with as much as they do. Yeah, I thought it was going to be a little limited, but doing all kinds of stuff. The Rock'em Sock'em Robot, all that. It's a lot of fun. It's good to see it back, man. I love it.
It's a ton of fun. I'm having fun with it. I'm just kidding. I enjoyed it. It was good.
I like the
stuff.
The Sock'em Robots. That one was good. I like that.
That was clever.
With the lions, right? That was the lions.
Right.
All right, guests, you all are talking. You might know who they are already, but we should probably formally introduce you in case the people don't know you. And for people listening, they don't get to see your beautiful faces. So what's up, fellas? We've got two, I think, returning for their second time. Yes, well, like 2.5 for you, Dwight. And Jake, you're whatever. Who cares? But Dwight, yeah. Well, Jake's like,
who cares?
We go way back.
He's like the third host.
He's a podcast whore.
Yeah,
He's a semi-regular.
yeah.
Tell me how you really feel, Dwight. Get that out there.
So we've got Dwight, the Peebs, bringing it to the Peebles, as Jake was trying to throw out as a pun earlier. What's up, dude? How you doing?
Oh, I'm happy to be here. My wife had us shopping for matching Christmas pajamas earlier. I wanted to stab myself in the eye. I'm like, is it time to leave for the podcast yet, please? So, getting my ass handed to me in many, many leagues this year. It's been a rough season, so take anything I say with a grain of salt.
All those Paul Perkins shares.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Look, they're right.
You're
They're
just
right down
diving
there.
right in, J Mike.
Yeah,
You're raw,
they're right
bro.
down there
Right
with
for
the
the
CJ
jugular.
Anderson. CJ Anderson shares too. Look, I'm burning to the ground with you.
True. Hey, Jake. What's up?
What's going on, man?
You know, kicking it. Just thinking about how the Lakers are gonna run the NBA over the next 10 years, and J Mike can't do anything about it.
Here you go, spitting that booty chatter. God.
What's their record? I don't really pay attention to basketball too much.
Yeah, Gabe, what's their record?
I think they're either one below or one above 500. There's just too many games in the NBA. It's hard to keep up, but they're good enough. And I love Kyle Kuzma, so that's all that I care about. But this was about you, Jake. Sorry, were we saying something?
No, I like the direction this was headed.
Okay, perfect.
Let's get back to that. Let's talk more Lakers.
Yeah, that's so. Mike, the step Mike, Stepney Michael, Michael
Yes.
Step,
Michelle
Step.
Stephanie.
Yes, Gabriel, whatever. I am once again glad, pleased, honored to be amongst the fellowship of the
man.
bar.
Hey.
That was so authentic.
That was not authentic.
I thought you were
Just
gonna
went
keep
off
going.
the
I thought you were gonna
top
keep
of my
going.
head.
I'll be honest. I was gonna go get lively on the Twitter and get us some more people to come watch, and I thought you were gonna keep going. So I kind of like I just dipped down. For a second, and then you were done, and
Yeah, I was done. Yeah,
I was something to say. So
yeah.
So I'm not here to podcast. I'm just here to Twitter. So maybe we should talk about about football. J Mike, talk about something so I can be non-existent and just get on Twitter. Anything to say? Oh, he probably didn't hear me. He's got his headphones in. Now I have to ask a question.
What about the news today that players are turning on McAdoo and the Giants? I thought that was kind of interesting. Some unnamed players are trashing him, saying he's garbage, and I don't give him 2 more games at that rate. The way they're going right now, it looks like it's heading to him getting fired pretty quick here.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
I was kind of surprised.
Yeah, it's just not good all around for them. It seems like they focused on the wrong things at the wrong time. So that they kind of stacked up at their defense, some believe that Paul Perkins would be the answer and figure out that running game, but it wasn't.
Darkwa is going to be a hell of a play this week
against the 49ers.
The 49ers.
Oh my gosh!
49ers
Juicy matchup.
Smashity, smash.
I don't understand all this talk about the Giants benching Eli though. It's not like they have a quarterback.
That was weird. They're like
they don't have a quarterback.
Webb Davis.
Webb Davis.
Oh wait, what? That's Davis Webb. Oh,
we even say his name backwards.
I know exactly.
He's that important.
That's the point.
Last name.
Exactly the point. That he's not even worthy of the correct asphyxiation of name order.
They copy pasted that right in there.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Webb. I didn't mean that.
I would think Eli would welcome him in there with that line. Jeez, he's taking a beating. Manning is. It's bad. A couple games I've seen, he's been on his back more than I don't want to talk about it. It's rough.
Line. Yeah. What's his name? Eric Flowers, right?
Yes.
Left tackle. Oh my God.
Awful Eric Flowers should be his name.
What is he doing?
Dynasty Frank trashes him at least 4 times a day, I
Yep.
think.
Looking like an actual flower.
He's definitely not blossoming.
No, certainly
No.
not.
Anti-blossom. So can we? So just real quick, does McAdoo finish the season? Yes or no?
No.
Yes or no?
No,
I don't think he
He
does.
doesn't
No.
finish the week, I don't think.
Okay, so 100% of us believe that McAdoo does not finish the season. So, can we just have a dream scenario real fast? Just talk through who we'd like to see as the head coach in New York.
Let's go
For
night
next
night.
year?
Have a little dream session.
A little dream session. Okay.
Put your
We're
night
talking
lights on.
next year.
Yes. Well, yes. Who's going to be their head
It's
coach?
got to be next year,
for
right?
next season? Yes. Not interim. No kind of labels like that.
Chip Kelly.
Ugh.
Oh god.
Well, that was it. That was easy. Good thought exercise, guys.
Actually, the question should be whether Jerry Reese should be still as the GM.
Yeah.
That's
No.
first and foremost.
I think they cleaned the whole front office out. Yeah.
Because they went the same route that Cincinnati did, which was not have offensive line help come in the offseason, but let's add these weapons to make our offense better,
Right.
quote unquote. And they took what was a bad offensive line, and now they're worse. I don't know how they're worse than last season, but they're worse. Okay. So, I don't know how to rectify. I don't know how to rectify
Segue.
this. Because Eli. Here's the thing. Eli, obviously, he's got the two Super Bowl rings. He's been fantastic, and he's had this roller coaster career. Right. He was really close to never becoming a thing with Kurt Warner. Whatever, all that sort of stuff. Can they seriously just walk away from Eli at the end of the season?
What's his contract situation look like?
Good question.
I think he's got a
He's still
number
under
of years
quite a
left
bit.
on that deal.
Yeah, he
Like
just
20
he doesn't-
plus million too.
He
He's
doesn't really yes, he's not playing as well, the past year, 2 years, but it doesn't really pop in my head as much as like Ben or Phillip Rivers, or not even Phillip Rivers, but like as much as like Big Ben, that he's kind of on his way out. It seems more than Eli Manning, because like Ben can't physically like move.
So Eli Manning has a potential out in his contract after 2019,
A
where they could
potential out.
cut him for $6.2 million
After 18.
after 18.
Yeah, whatever. I would have a hard time believing that they move on from Eli over the next 2 years. Then
They
I don't think
can't.
so.
They can't.
I say all that to say, I think they were really about to screw up this OBJ situation. Stephanie, was it you talking about Jerry Reese not coming back?
Yeah, he's a GM. He's the one that picked all the players.
Right. So if Reese doesn't come back, if you're saying if what's true, what happens? What you're saying is true. They clean house, bring in a new coach. Somebody's got to pay Odell Beckham a lot of money, or they've got to franchise him, right? And they don't have a quarterback to throw to him. They don't have an offensive line to protect whoever's going to throw to him, and they're not going to have a coach. I don't understand how New York Giants are about to be worse than the New York Jets. I really can't. I don't understand what's going on.
I don't think you get rid of Odell Beckham. I don't think that solves anything. I don't think that helps anything. And we've seen what a new coaching staff can bring into an organization and how quickly that can be turned around, especially when you have some good young players and skilled positions there. Their defense not long ago last year was pretty damn solid, and obviously they do have weapons all over the place on offense. They need to redo that offensive line. They need to establish a running game to help that quarterback, but I don't think you get rid of Eli. I don't think you get rid of Odell. Whether you franchise or more sign him, you can't say him leaving the team makes sense.
Right.
And I wasn't trying to suggest that. I'm just saying I think they're about to screw the situation up to where somehow he's not going to be on the roster. Like something stupid's going to happen.
Well, I can see him not wanting to sign back at the way it is right now. Like, would you want to stay with this organization the way they're going right now, the way they're being ran? I mean, they're being ran to the ground. It looks like they're wasting a really good defense. They've spent a lot of money on defense the last couple of years. I know they just got torched for 51, but I do think they have the pieces in place to be a good defense.
They have a lot of good players on that defensive
Yeah.
side.
To be fair, they're playing against the Rams, okay?
Right.
Sean McVay, Jared Goff.
Oh, sorry. The savior.
So going back to that coaching question, what we tend to see with head coaches losing their jobs, when they have an offensive guy, they tend to hire a defensive guy and vice versa. So who do you think are some candidates for that position, regardless whether it's offense or defense?
Going into this season, I would have said, like, hey, they may give Spagnuolo another chance. Right? The D coordinator, they balled out last year. Aside from that, I have no idea, unless you guys just want Marvin Lewis.
There's better options out there than Marvin Lewis.
I'm a better option than Marvin Lewis.
This skinny right here, they're done with that dude. They've been done with that dude.
I'd like to see him go with one of the younger guys. I'm trying to see a name here that sticks out. Defensive coordinator for the Seahawks, Richard. See him go defensive. Try to get someone a little more young, get some infusion of young blood into that organization. So I feel like they've had the old also ran. I know McAdoo was kind of young blood, but I'd like to see him go a different route, like the McVay, Shanahan route. Go like a total culture change.
How about a Mike Vrabel?
Yep, I like that one. I like him.
That'd be an interesting landing.
Another name I saw on this list here. I like.
Josh McDaniels. Matt Patricia.
I like Patricia.
It's like those guys are always like talked about though, and they just don't leave a good thing,
Well, they could also be waiting for the right opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't want to take a Browns type rebuild. They don't want to take a 49ers type rebuild, but they look at the Giants with some really good established players. That might be a good move for their career. That might be a good opening. So I don't think that roster is in a position where maybe some of those other interviews they've had with those other teams where they've probably denied those positions and decided to stay with the Patriots. They're waiting for the right opportunity. And I think the way that roster is constructed and all the talent they have, especially on the defensive side and then skill position wise on the offense, that could be a really nice landing spot for one of these, talked about young coaches to get their start.
Right.
Is OBJ still a top 2 wide receiver in Dynasty?
Yes.
What do you mean top 2? He's the number 1 overall.
Yeah, he's still number 1.
I'm just checking. I'm just checking the temperature.
Mike Evans is certainly not putting any heat on him at this point.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's a fair and a good question, but I still got OBJ number 1.
I think Hopkins, if Watson would have stayed healthy, I think Hopkins may have made his case to be the 101 for next year.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean probably top 5 tops, maybe, I don't know, but yeah,
3.
He was really sailing. You're right. He did all right last week without him, but so maybe he'll end up being okay.
Just think the New York situation is bleak. That's all I'm saying.
It is.
Shout out to Dynasty Frank.
Is he a Giants fan?
Oh,
just a little.
A little bit. Yeah.
Most staff. All right. I don't want to talk about the Giants anymore.
Jake.
Just kind of bored me, to be honest. So
let's change the subject.
Jake, how about Bridgewater? Is Bridgewater going to take over?
Oh, Bridgewater. You know what? I've been very negative this year as a Vikings fan, just because that's what happens. A lot of pessimism and just waiting to get my heart broken. And I don't see it this year. I don't see them doing anything. They might make the playoffs. I mean, because Rodgers isn't there anymore. I think they have a chance to run away with this division, even though their second half schedule is not easy. I think 7 of the 8 or 7 of the it's almost every team is above 500 that they face, and a lot of NFC opponents. But the one saving grace after Bradford went on IR today to make room for Teddy is that Teddy returns. And as far as fantasy goes, he's not ever going to be probably a top 15 fantasy quarterback. But as far as leading a team and being the face and name of an organization and everyone absolutely loving him and him being so endearing to the fan base, he's the one chance that they have of doing anything this season.
But like you said, like this is incredibly short lived, right? Because this is the end of his contract. They didn't pick up his option, right?
No, they did not. Well, they got to see. They got to see. I mean, if he's ready, they have to see because they always can go back to Case. He's a backup. I mean, he's so used to that role. Even if Teddy isn't right, they can take him out and put Case back in there. But if Teddy's healthy and if all the doctors say that he's ready for NFL time, you have to see what you have in him before he's a free agent next year.
Right. Totally agree.
Teddy Two Gloves.
Teddy Two Gloves.
I don't know if there's a more likable player in this league, to be honest. I don't know how familiar you guys are with him and just kind of his character and everything, but he's such a solid dude, and if you're not rooting for him, then you're probably a piece of shit. But yeah, I'm rooting for him, and he's such a good guy, and fingers are crossed but I also have this thought in the back of my mind that he's going to come back and be successful, and then I'm going to get my hopes back up and just to get my heart shattered again. But
with that 24 field goal playoffs.
Walsh at least is not. Oh, it was so nice to see Walsh shank 3 kicks last week.
Oh, that was great. I knew you had to be loving that.
Did you guys see in the preseason we played the Seahawks and he made a field goal and he was like pointing at our bench and calling out our players?
Wow.
So,
what a dick.
Oh, I hate him. So I was so happy to see him lose the game, really, for the Seahawks.
Yeah,
that's called #Vikings karma.
Yes. Tag it up.
We take Teddy Two Gloves over all the quarterbacks in this upcoming draft.
I don't know. You can't, because again, like I said, he's not a fantasy producer. He's never thrown for more than 16 touchdowns in a season. And we don't know about that knee. We don't know the longevity of that knee. He could not play ever again. He could get a chance and then hurt it again or just not be the same, and he could be done. So Teddy's not a guy that I love in fantasy. He's a guy that I'm looking at in Superflex leagues to acquire on the cheap. I mean, if you could get him for a late second, I think that's worth the risk opportunity, but he's not a dynamic fantasy producer. That's not who he is. He's a better real-life quarterback than he is fantasy quarterback.
Right. I wonder if he'll be able to sustain the pace that Thielen and Diggs and Rudolph have had. I'm worried about the whole offense as a whole.
But
we don't have North Turner anymore.
I can see a lot of 16, 13 games down the stretch.
Yeah, play the team strength was that defense.
Oh, definitely.
What is Stepney? Do you have him on your streaming article this week?
Me, Bridgewater?
Yep.
Not yet. No, got to see it first.
It might be 2 more weeks. It might be a while before we see him. We honestly have no idea. No idea. He's dressing this week. I'm excited to see him in a uniform again, but you don't know when he's going to play. You just don't.
Vikings host the Rams this week.
No. They play Washington.
They're at Washington.
I'm sorry, Washington. Excuse me.
They play at Washington.
Rams next week. Washington this week. Yes. Excuse me.
I think people were looking at Bradford in a similar light this year. We saw him last year and saw just short passes, the 70% completion rate or whatever, but still like maybe a top 20 quarterback, like barely some weeks. And so I don't know. I think you should at least view Teddy in the same way or even with more upside. So I think that's fair. And Bradford was just doing that at the beginning of the year and killing it. And even Case Keenum is like decent with this offense right now. So they have great weapons and a great offense for Teddy to succeed. So I certainly wouldn't count it out just due to the fact of I don't know what we've seen before in his kind of ceiling. And yeah, I agree. He's maybe a better quarterback, NFL quarterback than a fantasy quarterback, but just with this offense around him and I think that there's more to it than just than just top.
Well, there's two main keys that are different for Teddy that he's never had with this offense. He's never had an adequate offensive line, and last year was historically bad. And secondly, Norv Turner did not fit his style at all as a quarterback. So I think Shermer could actually fit Bridgewater in this offensive really well. And that's where I think he could be more successful than we saw in the past. So, yeah, he definitely has more upside than he probably did last time we saw him on the field. And those receivers are legitimate. Thielen and Diggs are top 20-ish, both wide receivers.
Yep.
So after the Lions' performance this past week in prime time, are we still picking the Vikings to win the North? Two-horse race, obviously. Sorry, Chicago and Green Bay fans. You are toast.
Well, it could have come down to the Lions-Vikings next matchup because the Lions already won that first game, so they already have the tiebreaker if it comes to that point. So that could be a big game because I do see the Vikings falling off a little bit, and I do see the Lions gaining some steam towards the end of the season. So yeah, I think that could maybe make or break either team's chances of getting the number one seed in that division.
The Lions have a really good schedule too.
They do. So I think
Cleveland, Chicago twice, Tampa Bay, Green Bay. You'd think all those are wins, probably.
Yep.
6 more wins, maybe.
And like I said, Vikings don't have as easy of a schedule coming up.
It's gonna be brutal.
Man. I just find it interesting. The Vikings have won 4 straight, and Stafford has not been he's not been bad this year at all. So it should be interesting.
Stafford is helped by that Jim Bob Cooter effect.
ABC.
Oh my gosh, Amir Abdullah, I'm so upset. He asks for the red zone carries, gets the red zone carries.
Bye-bye. That ball was slippery.
What are you doing, dude?
Ball was slippery.
Man.
Excuse me while I choke.
Even converted one from 4 yards out. He can do it.
Lions in a red zone are just pathetic. Pathetic.
Awful. They're like bottom third or something.
Don't you think Galladay would have been so nice for that offense?
Yes. You went out big time.
You got Marvin Jones coming on hot the last couple of weeks. Golden Tate is always Golden Tate.
Marvin Jones.
And
he gets y'all excited.
It's only been a couple of weeks, but I think the overreaction is definitely setting in because he's flying up ADP and the trade polls on Twitter are ridiculous. And we've seen more. Yeah, I've seen some. I can't remember off the top of my head what I saw, but it's getting ridiculous again. I mean, it's amazing how much people overreact to a couple of weeks. And through the first 4 weeks,
wide receiver in the
last
year,
through 4 weeks,
like wide receiver 40,000.
40,000 was exactly the number. No, I hear you. I do like Marvin Jones, though. I do. I think he has been underrated up until the last couple of weeks, but
he has had a good couple of weeks. Asshole.
Really, really good.
Not you, Marvin Jones.
Did John have to go potty again?
J Mike had to go potty.
Probably.
For those listening, we
Jeez.
are J Mike-less. So just bear with us as we start to enjoy ourselves. I'm at
Finally, we can cut loose, boys.
Oh shit!
Pants
All
are
right.
off, baby.
Let me tell you what, or maybe I'll wait for J Mike. Oh shit!
Damn it.
Too late.
We weren't talking about you.
I was going to share this story, and then I said, well, wait, let me wait for the homie J Mike. So, in the LFO league this week, monumental matchup. I don't even know who I was playing. So if you're listening or watching right now, and I don't know who you are, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know everyone's like team names. They're all really good, but I don't know what they are. So, I was up like 25, 28 points or something going into the Monday night game, and Stafford and Jordy remain, and blah blah blah. Long story short, I lose by like 0.6 or something, and just totally brutal. And I scroll down my my matchup, and I see that the Bengals got -1 on defense. Those hurt. I don't like when that happens, when you could have literally not started someone in your lineup and won. You could have literally had 8 players versus 9 players or whatever your starting lineup is and won. That is, I don't know. This is turning to Fantasy Tilt podcast right now, but my goodness, that just is.
Yeah, I went on a rant too this week about losing because in my home dynasty league we have kickers and defense still, and owners just don't want to get rid of them. And I sound like an asshole because I bitch to my league mates, and they're like, "Oh, you think you know better?" And it's just like, I'm not trying to come off like that, but it's for me, it's a no-brainer to not have them. But they legitimately think that kickers and defense should be a part of the roster, and yes, it's so frustrating, especially in your situation there, Gabe. But man, kickers and defense in dynasty just
yeah. And J Mike, this is the worst part. Do you remember who the Bengals played this weekend?
The AFC South Division leading Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'll tell you this right now, man. Don't even get cute playing a defense against your team. It's not worth it.
Can't do it.
Worth it. I thought about it. I was like, I shouldn't do this.
Cincinnati's been. I mean,
Fournette's
they do have a
out.
good defense.
They have been decent, and Fournette's out. Bortles will throw 800 interceptions. I'll be fine. They'll at least score points. They'll at least score points. I think that's a fair,
Yeah, man, you played yourself.
Yeah. Fuck it.
By the way, it was Angie that you lost to. Shout out to Angie, one of the LFO fans, legit ones.
Thank you. Sorry. Yeah. Shout out to Angie, one of the few actual LFO fans in the LFO league. So, big ups to you, Angie.
Everyone else is a fake fan.
They really are.
Aside from Stephanie. Stephanie's
not true.
No, Stephanie and Angie, both, I'm sure. Amazing.
So Jameis Winston.
Man, this has been really positive tonight.
Yeah. That's how I get down. That's how I do in my old age right now. So, okay, and then I'll stop bringing up the rest of the thing.
Yeah, sidebar real quick. Reference to your old age. Everyone go to J Mike Check on Twitter. Make sure and give that dude a happy motherfucking birthday, because it was his birthday yesterday. I didn't see the balloons on Twitter, but it was his birthday. So make sure everyone go out there, give that man a happy birthday wish he deserves. So happy birthday.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I poured one out for you earlier.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Like that meme, the LaCroix boy. LaCroix boy.
I was like, Burf, all you do in our league chats is chug beers and sing stupid songs. And I see a LaCroix sitting behind his computer. I'm like, dude, you can't be going through Open Bar Silver.
Hey, for those that don't know, obviously, if you happen to be new to this, which might be all two of you perhaps, we actually have a live show as we do this on Wednesday nights. So we've got the YouTube chat typically popping off. Our homegirls in there, Casey. Everybody knows Casey. Everybody say what up, Casey.
What up, Casey?
What up, Casey?
What up, Casey?
The first lady of Open Bar. So we were talking about obviously Van Burt. He's somebody that I know Gabe's known for a little while, and he actually legitimately has a face, and he kind of semi-showed it on the episode last week. So it was history made on the Open Bar yet again. Van Burt is indeed not an actual banana. Not sure if you guys were aware of that or not.
Although he made it hard to see though.
Very hard, yeah.
You couldn't really tell what he was.
Yeah. He was not ready to deliver all of the goods. He showed a little bit of of his rind, parts of potassium, but not all.
Of his rind.
Yeah.
So what?
I think
so
that's for like I think I've said that before. I think it's part of like an orange, not a not a banana. Probably just a peel.
I thought you were talking about like pork rind.
I like the word rind.
Good word. So let's just not talk about Jameis. Like you know what? No, let's not. Let's just not.
Jameis.
Let's talk about y'all's leagues.
Yeah, Dwight, tell us about your leagues, pal.
Pick a league and tell us about it.
I got my Infinity War league that I spend probably 20 hours a week on. It has Marvel superhero powers based on it.
So
That's going pretty good.
Job? You talking? Is that what you're saying?
It feels like it, man. Constant because of the power aspect of it and stuff. It's been kind of fun. It's been a learning process. I want to see if I can make it work. Sort of similar to John Bosch's Power Hungry League. A little more powers and stuff. It's been fun. But that one I'm godly terrible into.
Yeah, because you put in all your time and taking care of
no kidding, man. It's like, it's a full-time babysitting job, man. It's crazy. It's so much fun, man. It's been good. Like people are starting to use their powers, and it's been fun. It's been kind of neat and unique to see it working. It's good to see all that work like manifest, and people are having fun with it. And I had to kick a guy out, unfortunately, but he wasn't checking in several weeks and starting lineups with people on bye. And the worst part about being commissioner, I hate that. But, sometimes it's got to be done. So.
I've got a billion questions about this.
We have time for all of them, too.
Yeah, just a billion.
I'll find this. I'm intrigued.
League questionnaire. So, J-Mike, have at him.
So you just said it's Infinity War, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So how many teams? Obviously Dynasty, I presume.
Yep, 12 teams.
Okay, and Jake, you're in this league?
Nope.
No, not in this league. Okay. So you're talking about using your powers. I need more. I need context.
Okay.
I need what?
Like each team has 3 superpowers or superheroes attached to them. Like I have Ghost Rider, Quicksilver, stuff like that. And like Ghost Rider has a couple powers that, like the Penance Stare, which will freeze a guy's score, or will make a guy's score. So I can play it on my opponent's player. I don't want to geek out too much on you guys. I can play it on an opponent's player, and it like freezes their score to the average of the last 3 games. There's powers that can take guys out of lineups. There's all kinds of. There's waiver steals.
Man, how much do you guys hate each other?
Not many yet. Surprisingly,
I hate all the guys in my leagues. I can't imagine if someone put that shit on me. I would lose my damn mind. Can you do these in the playoffs, or are the
no.
So you are powerless.
No, yeah. I mean, you still gotta. Most of them are not like totally changing to where they'll get like a 70-point advantage and totally swing a match. Most times, if you have a better team, you're just gonna win anyways, regardless. But it can be kind of an annoyance you know, when someone's like, I'm going to take Leonard Fournette out of your lineup, although he's done that himself lately. But, you know.
Zinger right
All you got to do is show up. I mean, how hard is that?
Kids nowadays.
He's not photogenic.
Yeah.
Off of it.
Fair enough.
So, yeah.
So who are your wait, not who are yours? Who is on your team in that league?
I have McCaffrey, Beckham. It's super flex, and I kind of screwed up on quarterbacks, so I've started a mishmash of quarterbacks this year. Like an idiot. I traded Cousins in the preseason and then have been scrambling to have quarterbacks all season. But yeah, it's been rough. I think I'm 3-6, and it's been rough. But
it's been a rough year all around.
Yes.
And to involve powers to just destroy everything. I'm in a similar league, you know, with you there, Dwight, about the power hungry with John Bosch, and Clint and I are sharing it, and we're at, you know, rock bottom, whatever, because we adopted an orphanage.
Right.
He did some sort of dispersal draft, and we just had a power applied to us to where you can take a player off of someone's roster who has not been started in the previous 5 weeks, and then there's some other conditions to it that are important that I don't really know because I don't follow it too closely. But basically, this person used this power and took David Njoku from us. So just poof, gone. Like, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, I'm playing one of the top teams. I'm playing one of the top teams in the league this week, and I played a power that'll allow my scoring average or differences in scoring averages. Like their team averages 41 points more than mine, so I start off the week with 41 points. It's like a handicap spell, so which I definitely need a handicap in that league. So I'm starting off the week with 41 points that make our average the same.
That one's in your Infinity or
no, that's in Power Hungry.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I do have one similar in Infinity War too. But
I didn't know there was any golfer superheroes.
Nice.
I see what you did there.
I like that though. I like that.
Jake, what's up with your league? Pick one.
You know what? I'm not in any redraft leagues. I'm only in 3 money dynasty leagues. I try to keep it to a minimum.
Oh, that sounds so great right now.
Doesn't it? I'll probably go up to, I think my limit's going to be 6 eventually. But I like 3. I like 3 a lot. I think I can. I just think you lose such an incredible advantage when you don't have the time to put into managing your rosters the way you should be. So, one of my leagues, I'm in 3 leagues. I am 6-4, 7-3, and 8-2, I believe.
Hey, all the money that way.
Let's talk about Kevin O'Brien's wrestling theme league, which is a lot of fun. Every team is a wrestler. I am G Generation X, so y'all can suck it. But that is a 1 QB. Start 2 to 4 running backs. Start 3 to 5 wide receivers. Start 1 to 3 tight ends. My quarterbacks are Jameis Winston and Drew Brees. I've been playing Brees, obviously. I did pick up Ryan Fitzpatrick just in case something happens. My running backs have been Kareem Hunt, and I did have Delvin, who I did trade because I was outperforming what I thought I would do. And Gabe, this is that dispersal team I talked about on the Grab Bag Fantasy show, which I didn't think I'd be competing, but some of my rookie picks paid off big time.
Oh, shit, yeah.
So I traded Delvin Cook for Christian McCaffrey in a third, so I could keep competing. So I have Kareem Hunt, Christian McCaffrey, Aaron Jones is my third. So I usually start 1 or 2 running backs, and that's it. My wide receivers are DeAndre Hopkins, Brandon Cooks, Kelvin Benjamin. I just traded Nelson Aguilar and a second for Adam Thielen after offering a first for Thielen, and then he countered with Aguilar in a second, which I like that deal. I have Cooper Kupp, Randall Cobb, did I say Kelvin Benjamin? And then my tight ends are Jack Doyle, Vernon Davis, and I have Ed Dixon for some reason. But yeah, it's been a fun year with that league, just because, like I said, I was planning to be a punting team after doing a dispersal, and yeah, I had a bunch of rookie picks and I hit on some of them. And what I'd like to do, and what I think a great strategy for dynasty leagues is invest in wide receivers and draft running backs in your rookie drafts. Because rookies come in and they play right away and they can succeed, I think, a lot easier than wide receivers. And it takes a while for those wide receivers to get established. And then you can actually buy some of those wide receivers on the cheap once those owners that drafted them in the first round get tired and sick of waiting for them. I mean, imagine Mike Williams. You could probably get him for
nothing. Yeah.
An early second, late first. I mean, after being the consensus pretty much 107 last year. Treadwell's going for a second. Doxson, I mean, I think his status is starting to explode again. But yeah, I think that's a sound strategy, is to invest in running backs and rookie drafts and try to build your team around those wide receivers.
Good advice.
So excited for Josh Doxson.
He is looking good.
Going to happen.
They're giving him opportunity now.
Yep.
And it's not just the red zone, which is nice.
Pryor's dead.
He actually caught a ball last week.
Oh. That was one of my misses.
You know, a weird little, I mean, it's still so weird. I think we've talked about it in Open Bar before, but just that I was starting to look at some players, the points per game thing, you know, J Mike, and I'm just so surprised that Kareem Hunt is still up there as far as
RB number 2.
Still
top 3 or 4 back there, 5. Man, just seems like he's fallen off quite a bit in the last few weeks, and he's been like consistent enough, but not an RB1, more of an RB2. Those first 3 weeks still have just propelled him into RB1 status, but like ever since is just like meh.
To your point, Gabe. Now he's 4th. He's 4th in points per game in full point PPR.
But then again, like running back's just a nightmare this year. So, and I don't know, like who do you even start every week? Like,
no kidding.
You literally had to depend on Buck Allen for the last while, and now they're saying that like because Danny Woodhead, a 33-year-old guy, is going to come back and take the majority of the carries.
He should.
Why? No.
Because he's awesome. Because he's such a good player.
He is, but he's 33 years old. They need to
limit
the snaps. They just
they're not going to limit. They're not going anywhere this year. He's probably going to retire pretty soon. Yeah. Why not just grind him out, use him for what they have? They already missed 8 weeks with him, so let him get those touches, man. He was going to lead the league for running backs and receptions. He'd be right up there with Christian McCaffrey if he was healthy right now.
See, that's just like I'm okay with that argument for Keenan Allen, but when he did the kidney thing or the ACL thing, whatever, I was okay with that projection just because he's, 23, 24 years old. Danny Woodhead is not that old, or that young rather. So no, you can't project that. You have to account for something like this to happen, and it did.
What about you, Michael? You have a team you want to tell us about?
Well, let's see. I'm in way too many redraft leagues. Went overboard June and July.
So much fun to draft.
Yeah.
True, but then it's a pain in the ass trying to manage all the teams. September through January.
That's why you got to supplement by doing play drafts or MFL 10s. Get that draft fix out of the way so you're only taking care of so many rosters once it comes prime time.
Well, I can't do MFO 10s here in Maryland. Can't do that.
I can't either. But I did enjoy doing some play draft.
Well, that I can do play drafts. I can do play draft. But the one league I'm really doing well in is an money auction league. I did, which I drafted like in August with some of the people in Going for Two, Zach Law and Sharona, and I've been in first place since week 1. I've had the highest scoring team like since. I'm averaging like 160 points, and I'm like, damn, I am loving this team. I drafted well. I got like Zach Ertz and Travis Kelce, and like the Ravens defense and the Chargers defense. And the only really injury that killed me was having Cameron Meredith get hurt like in preseason week 3. But other than that, my team has been absolutely strong. I'm been ecstatic. My Scott Fish Bowl team has been in the crapper. Exactly. That's it's like at the bottom. It's like 2-7.
Yeah, mine made the mistake of starting 3-0 and giving me hope that I could hang with the experts, and then I think I'm 1-5 since.
I think Casey beat me this week, so shout out to Casey. She crushed me by like 40. I still had Matt Moore in my lineup for whatever reason, but not that it mattered. Like I could have got an extra 5 points.
Casey's had a rough go.
Yeah, I got like an ESPN team, a Yahoo team, and like NFL.com team. All of those like 6-3. A couple others are like 4-5, 5-4. The rest are like below 500. So this has been my best year in terms of fantasy football.
That's
awesome.
For real.
Gabe, what you got? You got a. How many leagues are you in, Gabe? This redraft and dynasty.
Altogether, I think I've counted it, and it's at 15.
Any best balls, or those all?
Not even including those.
Wow.
So I drafted a lot of those too, but.
And Gabe, before you jump into your team real quick, just a giant shout out. You're currently 123rd. You're still hovering in that top.
I'm still around. I just it's Carson Palmer going down and Andrew Luck now not coming back. I mean, it's tough out here for a pimp. So I've got Phillip Rivers. I'm hoping Bridgewater comes back, and that's kind of I have Drew Stanton too.
Hey.
There you go.
All you need is bodies sometimes.
Yes, that's right.
And it is that type of year. You just need bodies. So, and I've got Hopkins, and like Hopkins is one of those players, like kind of one of the they say that kind of every year that you need that player around 5th to 10th round or whatever that just like puts you over and becomes a top 20 guy in ADP the next year, talking about redraft.
Mm-hmm.
And Hopkins is that guy. Like he is just the number one wide receiver this year. And I mean, it's like him and
Antonio.
It's like him and AB, and then
Tyreek Hill is third, I think, in total points.
Here, I got it here in some sort of format league, some sort of PPR, 21 points per game. Antonio Brown just short of 20 points per game. And then like the next relevant players like Stephon Diggs at just short of 16. So wow, that's like such a big difference. Like that's actually really huge for wide receivers.
It's been an awful year for wide receivers.
Yeah, there's usually like 4, 5, 6 guys that are kind of hovering at least in the same realm. I mean, there's usually one guy that's way above. In this case, Hopkins, but at least there's a few that are around. But then it's like one wide receiver, 2 wide receiver ones, and then like a bunch of wide receiver 2s. It's crazy. So, we'll see what happens. It's fun. I'm just having fun with the SFB. It's good times. I don't know, best league I'm in right now is still like this league I've got. I think I might have mentioned it either whether off air or on air. It's just this it's crazy. You got it. It's a super flex league, and this is redraft. Super flex, we start 3 running backs, 3 wide receivers, and a tight end, the super flex, and then you have to start a rookie every week. So we had Deshaun Watson as our rookie every week, and that was
Oh, it doesn't matter the position in that rookie.
no, it doesn't. Well,
so it could be a double.
You can't do kicker, but
It could be a double super, or it could be 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
so you can start 3 quarterbacks.
Oh
Yeah. So we had Stafford, Goff, and Watson rolling out every week. Watson was in this league format the number 1 QB, and so it was just so hard to see that happen because like it literally propels you 40 points a game above everyone else. And it was insane. Just like sliding through. The only week we lost was when Watson was on bye. So now we're just scraping on the bottom for rookies and trying to slide in Foreman and hoping that D.D. Westbrook comes back off of the IR. Like, it's so fucking awful for the rookie position right now. But that's about all we've got to. But the 3 running back thing is hard as well. Not just this year, but every year, but I guess especially this year. So, yeah. But Goff is nice. Goff has been a nice surprise for us. That's for sure.
I feel like that's an open bar victory lap we can take of all of the fun that we've had and terrible takes that have come through. Our Jared Goff and Rams offense love before the season.
It's true.
We were ahead of that, and maybe for the wrong reasons because we were excited about Sammy Watkins. But
that's also fair.
But still, we were high on the Rams offense, and they're doing right.
1 for 67 and a touchdown last week.
Yeah, but he's gotten open a lot. If you ever watch back some of these routes he's running, he is open, and Goff is just not finding him or looking his way. I don't get it because Sammy is honestly the way he's running routes. He's probably the healthiest he's been since he came into the league. I think he looks bigger and stronger too, and I don't think he's lost that quickness and that speed. It blows my mind, and I do think if you're in a dynasty league, if you're not at least trying to acquire him, or at least fielding some offers, we don't know where he's going to go next year, but the talent is still there, and that's what we try to bet on in Dynasty. I think you have to at least see what the Sammy Watkins owners are thinking, and I've heard a lot of people say a late first for him, which to me is insane. I'd pay up to at least a mid first for Sammy, no question about it. I mean, who do you want, Sammy Watkins or Cortland Sutton? I mean, he's probably going to be the 2nd overall pick. So drop that back down to the 6th, 7th, 8th pick. You're looking at Calvin Ridley or Auden Tate. I mean, give me Sammy all day over those prospects.
Yeah, I mean, wide receiver for wide receiver, I guess. Like, I don't know. I could see like you getting some sort of kind of flashy Royce Freeman, I guess, would probably be. He's probably going to be.
I don't think he's even going to go in the first.
Yeah, you think he'll go second.
What happens when Sammy
Watkins?
Watkins?
Be a mid first.
Who's that?
Late first. Chubb, I said. I don't know.
Yeah, Chubb will either go. He'll be anywhere from like 104 to 108. I don't think he goes past 108.
Yeah, so there's your mid first, but I mean, he could land in a spot where he just jumps in and flashes, and you can flip for like the Kareem Hunt type of situation.
Yeah, I think Nick Chubb could be the
shot
Dalvin Cook of next year's rookie draft, where he's going at like 105, 106, and he just comes on as being just an absolute steal.
And a shitty athletic profile too.
Yeah.
He probably won't test as well as people would like.
Yeah. That shout out to one of the guys in one of my leagues. His name's David Berger. He's actually an Emmy award winning, I believe, either director or producer. He's part of the crew, fantasy huddle crew, I should say.
Hey.
Hey, he and I'm putting him on blast because he's got a sneaky take. But I want to throw this out to you guys. While everyone's excited about the Chubbs, the Saquons, so on and so forth of the guys coming out next season, sneaky tidbit here. Remember this name, Sony Michel, Chubb's backfield mate in Georgia.
Yep.
Incredibly dynamic player himself. And I feel like a lot of people will be sleeping on him. And to a large degree, I know that I knew who he was. I knew he was a good player. But I like him too. Like just a guy you can probably end up getting in the second round somewhere in most of your leagues. Anyway, I'm just throwing that out there.
Well, this is going to be eerily similar to the 17 rookie class as far as running backs. We're looking last year, this 17 offseason was one of the best rookie running back classes we've seen in a long time. And I think 18 is going to put up a fight for the money. I don't think there's maybe as many, we had those 5 top running backs in this class. I don't know if it's going to be quite that top heavy, but the depth, and then you do have Geis and Barkley loading up that front end, and maybe even Chubb. It's going to be pretty similar to that 17 class, and I think there's going to be a lot of running backs drafted in the first round next year.
Totally.
Especially after this year, just
of course,
Hunt and Fournette,
all the success,
even Cook, McCaffrey, whatever, all of all of them seem to have had some success, whether you drafted them in the first, second round, even down to the 5th round, like Matt Breida,
right, yeah.
He's even had some flashy stints. So yeah, I agree with you. I think it's going to be running back top heavy. So let Courtland Sutton just trickle down to the old Give me all the Courtlands. Oh my God.
He'll be the 3 or 4, I think.
Yeah.
He'll be the 3 or 4. Probably the 3. I think it'll be the consensus 3. It's going to be Barkley, Geis,
Sutton, Tate. Those guys are. I've seen very little of them this year, but they're both just stout dudes.
I was watching it last year because I thought he was coming out. I thought he did his whole stupid Instagram announcement as far as like coming out. Not
he had a press conference.
Yeah.
To say that he was going back to school.
I'm a superstar. I thought he was coming out. And so I watched all that tape. Oh gosh. Yeah, go and watch that tape on Sutton. It's crazy. It's like what you want Mike Williams to be.
Oh man. I don't want to go in deep about this, but I do want to shout out the obviously I'm in 2 dynasty leagues. I started one, and then of course with the guys, a lot of the guys from the old fantasy huddle, and surprisingly, it's a super flex league, 14-teamer, and I'm in here with a lot of our favorites from the show, John Bosch, Clint, that's Gabe's BFF, FFFFFF.
BAE.
Fair enough. Bay for life. Also, I was just shouting out David Berger. But I'm 6-3 in that league. Like I said, super flex league. It was an auction. It was my first auction ever, and I was trying to do some research on it, and I was scared to death, and I was sure that I was going to be terrible, and my team's not very good. But somehow I'm 6-3 because my quarterbacks are Cam Newton, Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz has carried. Carson Wentz has carried the day.
That's why I like to invest heavily in superflex leagues and quarterbacks, because if you do have 2 stud top 8, top 10, top 5 even quarterbacks, your floor week to week is so high that even if your rest of your roster is not that great, you're going to win a bunch of games. And it might not be pretty, but you are going to almost guarantee yourself a spot in the playoffs.
What, like Rodgers and Luck? What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's nice. That'd be fantastic. Well, obviously you have to hit, and injuries can't hit you, obviously. But
what a year! Oofda.
it's been brutal.
Yeah,
I traded Rodgers for Watson right before he got hurt.
Yeah.
And Dwight and I are in that league together.
Yeah.
Matt Price's red list. Which shout out to that league, and I think everyone should be doing this. I think it's 25% Dwight of the all the money that gets put into that league goes to a charity, which the winner, we're all endangered species, and whoever wins the league, they get to donate 25% of the league's earnings to that species, endangered species. So I think it's great when you can put a charitable portion of a league, and do it that way. So I know Matt said he's never gonna start another league that doesn't have some kind of charitable
aspect.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Oh shit.
Uh-oh.
What happened?
I almost sent a really weird GIF. Saved it. No worries. All right. We're good. We're sorry about that. Back in it. Back here at the Dynasty Happy Hour Open Bar.
Not Dynasty Happy Hour. Sorry.
Dude, fucking fan.
It's got to be hard to get used to.
The Open
It
Bar.
is hard. It is difficult, but we're gonna. It flowed so well, and I kind of like would say it to, mockingly, not like mocking the business, the industry, but like mocking the idea of saying like the whole sponsor of like, and Dynasty Happy Hour Open Bar is looking for sponsors. So if you're, so now I have to flow into are you guys tired of listening to that little bit yet? Or
I'd like you to go on.
What?
I
I still
our fantasy football teams again.
I still open iTunes and my podcast and look for Dynasty Happy Hour. Like, where'd it go? Like, what did it do? Like, I still can't find it sometimes.
You heard it here first, Tyler.
Time to activate Teddy Bridgewater onto my active roster.
Oh my gosh. I just want to keep talking about Teddy. I'm so excited. I like that shit, man. Those stories they're cool.
I think you missed part of that conversation.
Yeah, I clocked out, but I'm here now and I'm ready.
I'm here now. Let's rehash that.
I'm ready to have some Teddy talk.
I was
there for all of it.
Teddy Two Gloves.
Down on him.
And Bradford is not under contract next year with the Vikes, is he?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
He got
we have zero quarterbacks.
Neither is Jared.
Case, Teddy, and Sam are not under contract for next year. So it could be the Kirk Cousins or Drew Brees sweepstakes.
Kirk Cousins is a
so
back off.
Wow.
Baby.
Dude, I would love Cousins in Minnesota. Whoa.
No, he's
I'd rather have Brees, I think.
So.
Eli Manning to the Vikes, holla.
Yeah.
You've had better jokes, J. Mike.
Blake Bortles to the Vikings.
Oh my God.
Lord.
I would quit. I'd quit.
Yes.
I'd quit. Listen, Rick Spielman is much smarter than that. I assure you.
He is going to be a backup next year, though, right? Blake Bortles.
Oh, he'd be great as a backup. Good for him. Make that
QB,
6 money as a
I
backup.
honestly think the backup QB position is just so important in the NFL now. And really just, rosters are important in the NFL right now.
Players.
Hot take.
Players with 4 wins are really valuable right now.
Players that know how to play football are important.
It's so real, though. I mean, it's like 40% of the league is out right now. Ridiculous.
That's fantastic.
Some depth, man.
That is fantastic.
We need to start. They need to start flag football. I think that's what it's coming to. It's bad.
Boop-a-doo.
Bad.
Do.
J Mike, you got anything to add? We're hour and some change. Oh yeah, 38. We started at 38. We're hour and some change. You got anything else to say?
I'm fresh out. I'm not too thrilled about the Thursday night lights tomorrow. So
right,
I'm out of bullets.
Cardinals and
Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm out of bullets.
Can we take a moment to, if anybody plays DFS, just play every Steeler that you can this week?
Against
Word to your mother. Yes.
Devontae Davis is out.
Right.
Good luck.
Just load it up.
Load it up.
Spin whatever you got.
It's at Indy, though.
Martavis?
I think you could even maybe play Martavis.
Oh my God.
Oh,
I just want
Juju.
one. I have him in SFB. I just want one.
Dude, I love him. He was my biggest miss this offseason. I fell in love. And now Josh Gordon is happening, and I liked him. But now I'm like, fuck you, dude. I'm not getting burned. I got burned by Martavis. I was talking about his character and how much he's grown. And now I guarantee I'm going to be off Josh Gordon. Not that I'd really pay what people are probably wanting for him, but I'm going to be off of this. I'm going to be saying there's no chance, and he's going to come back and be a top 10 receiver. That's what's going to happen.
As far as like personalities, though, it seems as if Josh Gordon is not so much like at the Browns draft. Like, that's not mine's replacement. That's Corey Coleman's. You know, it's like I don't know. I've never really seen Josh Gordon in that light. At least seems like he just gets on the field and just beasts up. So, I don't know. Got that going for him. I just think Martavis is just like actually maybe not a great person. I don't know, but I don't know. I shouldn't say that, but you know, actions speak louder than words, or words speak louder than actions, since he tweets kind of more than the actions. But J Mike, what do you say we get out of here?
One and the same.
Two fingers on them.
Twitter fingers turn to trigger fingers.
Ooh.
Yeah. I don't know.
That was the best thing you said all night.
Let's go.
I didn't.
I like that one.
It's not organic. It's a Drake line. I think I've just been saying like a Drake verse like the entire.
You just throw them in there and see if anybody catches them.
Basically.
Yeah. It's mostly for J Mike
Yeah,
and
I wouldn't.
I know those are my hip hop aficionados. So
Hey.
yeah. Okay. Well, let's say our goodbyes. Right to left on my screen, starting with Michael Stepney.
Thank you very much, Gabriel. You can catch me on Twitter at mstepney71. I'm a writer for the Fantasy Authority, and I'll have my quarterback and defense streaming options available up on the site by the end of the week.
Good articles. I'm on the list, one would say, that for that article to be shared and liked and things, and I've read it and it's good. I promise you that. So please go and check that out.
Thank you. Thank you for the compliment.
Absolutely, brother. Yeah, no, good stuff. J Mike, what's on your does anyone else see that on the screen right now?
Like, is that McVay or
Giant shout out to Sean McVay and his extra crispy beard. You see that lineup right there?
That's true. You're right.
It's not straight.
That's cleaner than yours, bro.
It's not
Bro,
straight.
it
It's
is.
not straight.
No, that thing is crispy right there.
I like that more than yours.
I do too.
I used to like yours the most, but I like that one more.
You know what, Gabe? You know you are a fickle beard fan. What you are. Fickle.
I really wish that the mouth of McVeigh would be moving right now as you were talking. That's what I want. I really want that.
That would be awesome. Start moving over.
Like on Conan back in the day.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So what the bad thing is, I don't know how to stop sharing the screen now. I was trying new things.
Maybe you're just gonna have to say goodbye as that.
Well, good thing you didn't do this to start the night, J. Mike.
Yeah, that would have been bad. That would have been so bad. Oh, there we go.
Hey, there we go.
Oh man,
I was gonna say you have
I
some
made it
homework
out,
for next
guys.
week.
I'm good. I'm safe.
Were you in the upside down?
I was in the yes. Well done.
Oh my god.
In the upside down, I'm a rich white man who can. Yes. Oh,
Guys,
dreams
I
come true. Only in
wanted-
America.
I wanted
You're in Los
to
Angeles.
preserve myself and try and extend my Stranger Things watching time at least through 2018. At
Oh,
the very
so good.
least.
So
I
good.
couldn't make it 2 weekends. I already finished it. God, it's so
Nice.
fantastic. Quit watching this
It's
show
so
and
good.
go watch Stranger
Go
Things.
watch Stranger Things.
You know, you fall into that little depression mode when you finish a series, and you're like, oh, I only have to wait 11 more months.
Oh, disgusting.
Wait, could you do that one more time? Exactly how you did it before?
No, I am done. That was me unloading everything I had. I'm not a twice kind of guy.
That's all right. I'm gonna write down.
When I finish, I'm done.
Yes, that is. That's how children happen for Jake. If you ain't
Got it.
noticed.
Okay.
That's when he unloads everything. That's what he said. His
He
way.
sure unloads, doesn't he? All right, Jake, you have anything to share as we look at your vinegar strokes on the way out, buddy?
Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at NFL Draft Talker. I write for DLF. I put out an article a couple weeks ago looking at the 2018 quarterback dynasty landscape and how that could be looking for next offseason. And I'll probably have another article out in the next week or two. But yeah, always a pleasure to be on the open bar with you fine gentlemen. And we will see you in another 2 to 3 weeks, I'm sure.
And that's about your rotation. What's so the quarterback thing, is that all quarterbacks? Is that rookie quarterbacks? What is that?
It's all quarterbacks.
Okay, gotcha. And Teddy Bridgewater, not a top 15 QB. We're just gonna make sure that you're saying that.
No,
right
he's not a top
not a
15
top 15.
at this point. He could. I mean, there's a chance he could be there, but
No.
All right, there's no chance.
You made your take, now lay in it.
All right. Yeah, go check that out. And welcome to DLF. It's good stuff. Always good stuff. Good content coming from there, especially from Jake. Dwight, share me something. Share me some. Okay. Will you just take over the show, Dwight?
Oh, man.
Things.
At DJ's First is my Twitter handle. I don't say a whole lot. I mainly just follow all the intelligent people and try to gain some knowledge from them. I'm trying to break into writing. I'm working on some IDP stuff. I'm really into that. So hopefully.
Do it, man. Yes.
Yeah.
More IDP.
Break in the minds of some of the ones that I follow to see how they do what they do and how they learn how they, the stuff they do. So always trying to learn, man.
Just do it.
Man, aren't we all? But yeah, good luck in your Powers League. Then I hope that handicap will help you and bring you over the top.
So I only lose by 10 instead of 50. Yeah, that's my goal.
Exactly. It won't hurt as bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. All right, J. Mike, let's do this. Let's say our goodbyes. Let's do the thing that we do, which is the thing of
tweeting.
Yeah, back to Twitter. Okay, go, J. Mike. Go. Say thanks.
No, just to thank all of you for checking us out here on the Open Bar. Again, thanks to our guests, fantastic folks as always. Always enjoy you guys. Just some encouragement to you, real quick, as we fade to black, Mr. Dwight. So this summer, I listened to a podcast with Mr. Kevin O'Brien, the FF engineer. I listened to that podcast, and he had on, I forgot who it was from DLF. But they were just talking about, hey, like if you want to start something, if you want to do something, just go for it. Like just start writing or start being out there, put yourself out there and just do it, right? And so like I was like, yeah, man, I want to jump into this. Like I can have some fun with fantasy football. Like I want to run with that. And so I reached out to Gabe because I had checked out the Grab Bag Fantasy podcast. And I was like, hey, I'd like to come on your show because I'm starting a league. And he's like, yeah, let's do this. Set up a time, do that. Weeks later, or maybe in a month or so, I parlay that into being able to co-host this show for Gabe. Tyler reached out and was like, hey, I think this can work. And so all that to say, you can certainly be absolutely nobody in this and come from left field and at least come in and have fun doing what you enjoy. So what has it been? 2-3 months now, Gabe, and we're still cracking. No one hates us yet, so that's good.
I mean, I wouldn't say that, but
okay, no one openly like I don't know throws eggs at our houses because of this, so that's a good thing.
no eggs.
But anyway,
That. No,
that's all I got.
Nice.
Good words, J. Mike. Very, very good words. I agree. And you just get to meet. I know you already because you're involved, White. You're in leagues with a lot of people already, but you would even get more involved if just getting into those types of things, and that's how I have one of my a lot of good buds here on Twitter now and in the fantasy football community. J. Mike for sure. My co-host, my dude.
Come on,
J. Mike. So, and the draft talker, we have him on every 2 or 3 weeks. Good friend as well. And all you guys, I mean, who we bring on every week. It's a great community, good friends, always good people. So, ultimately jump in there.
Stuff.
Why not? All right. Well, we're going to get out of here. J. Mike check. Make sure to go say happy birthday to him. I'm Grab Bag Fantasy. I don't know. Anything else, guys? You want to cheers to the camera? Do one of those
Cheers.
things?
Do you guys want to leave with the vinegar stroke type of joke, or do you want to leave that for after the recording stops?
as long as it ends with LaCroix, boy.
You guys want to hear this, or should I save it?
Give it to us.
Sure.
All right. A mother is in the kitchen making dinner for her family when her daughter walks in. Mother, where do babies come from? The mother thinks for a few seconds and says, well, dear, Mommy and Daddy fall in love and get married. One night, they go into their bedroom, they kiss and hug and have sex. The daughter looks puzzled, so the mother continues. That means the daddy puts his penis in Mommy's vagina. That's how you get a baby, honey. The child seems to comprehend. Oh, I see, but the other night when I came into your room and you had Daddy's penis in your mouth, what do you get when you do that? The mother replies, jewelry, my dear, jewelry.